How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, live stream Friday. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit messed up. I was a little bit sick all week, but yeah, let's go ahead and get to it with some wise words coming from the press secretary. Well, not necessarily from the press secretary, from the press themselves, and silence from the press secretary yourselves. But absolutely,
Here we go.
Thanks, Green. Why do you think Americans are so down on President Biden right now?
What do you mean?
I know you don't like to talk about polls like the 5 of 6 swing states that he is losing right now to somebody who is a criminal defendant. But more broadly, it doesn't seem like anything you guys are doing is making him more popular. Why do you think that is?
All right, everybody. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
absolutely.
Get you a
fucking
girl
great.
that looks at you the way Kareen looks at Peter Ducey.
Right? Anyway, welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, live stream Friday. How are you doing this week, man?
Doing well, man. Fucking, burning up already out here. But other than that, everything's good.
All right, it's fucking brutal out here, man. This, of course, is my my co-host, as always, the Liberty Swine. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about the Stormy Daniels case, pretty much imploding, absolutely, completely coming to a complete crash, right before the Democrats' eyes, right before CNN's eyes, and yeah, it's a combination of their two star witnesses, the porn star and the serial perjurer. And they both went ahead and lived up to their full names, right? So yeah, that one's completely falling apart. We got the stark contrast between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and that is going to be made even more apparent with some of the debates and stuff that's going to be coming up. This summer is looking to be really promising. We got a Joe Biden Donald Trump debate coming up in June, and then I believe another one in August, right?
September 10th, dude. My fucking
September.
birthday.
Okay. Nice.
All
Nice.
right.
All
It's a
right.
gift. You get to see Biden get roasted.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. But definitely going to be interesting. And then, of course, this July, a judge has denied repeatedly to extend the trial start date of the Hunter Biden gun trial, and so that is going to be beginning in July. Right. So, of course, again, another politically devastating, aspect to the Joe Biden campaign, and that's another good thing we have looking forward to look forward to this coming up summer. Of course, we also have the endless entertainment that is Pride Month coming up within the next few weeks. Of course, there is some brands that are already starting to say we ain't playing that game this year. Of course, Target being one of them. We also got let's see. Oh, yeah, we're gonna be starting out tonight with a bit of a cat fight on the house floor, if you will. Right, and this is just going to kind of further, iterate. I guess why girl brain isn't necessarily the best thing to have when it comes to such a high stakes decision making, such as running the free world, right? So yeah, it got heated in there in Congress today. It got heated, to say the least. We have a pretty long video. We'll probably jump through it here and there. But yeah, MTG, AOC, and I forget the last one's name because she's black. No, I'm just kidding. I just forget her name. Yeah, fucking old Crockett. Right. They got into it on the House floor today. And not like in the normal way where you think it's like, oh, you're this, you're that. Like, no, they're talking about motherfucking eyelashes and fucking body shape. Like, they were getting real fucking middle school with it. They're getting real fucking, high school fucking ratchetry with it. Like it was an embarrassment, to say the least. It was entertaining, don't get me wrong, but I mean, when you come to think of it, that this is supposed to be the chamber that basically decides the law of the land here in this country, it's a bit of an embarrassment. But I don't know, what's your thoughts on it before we go and jump into this video, man?
Like you said, childish as shit, man. Real ghetto. like unbecoming of representatives of any government, let alone America. And you know, is you hate to say it, but MTG fucking, you know, she's the one that instigated that shit. Immediately going to insults, right?
You're right. Yep. Yeah. Let's go ahead and check this out real quick. This one's about 4.5 minutes long, but it's okay because we're not going to get copyright stricken because we're down here in the corners, right? We're commenting on it the whole fucking time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're here tonight to hold Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. And there has been complaint and complaint after complaint from the other side of the aisle. Now, I'd like to remind everyone that the American taxpayers were forced to pay millions and millions of dollars for the January 6th committee last Congress, who was convened during prime time, evening hours. And they hired an ABC News executive, James Goldston, to produce these committee hearings. Actually had the American taxpayers pay for this. And Democrats are complaining about our committee hearing this evening. I'd also like to remind everyone that during the 117th Congress, we would vote until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, many, many times, late at night. And that was when Democrats controlled the House. But the worst thing about the January 6th committee is that the speaker broke her own rules. When she produced this committee, created the committee, the minority leader appointed members of Congress to this committee, and they were denied being able to participate on the January 6th committee. This committee operated against the rules of Congress. It was procedurally defective. And today, right now, Peter Navarro is sitting in jail because he was held in contempt of Congress. And also, Steve Bannon has been held in contempt of Congress and could go to jail soon. Those are the consequences of when the Democrats controlled the House. They broke the rules. And the consequences are people have gone to jail, and they may soon go to jail. And tonight, we're here to hold Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. And this committee needs to be able to proceed forward to do that. I'd also like to remind the committee and anyone watching this that every single time we hold a committee hearing and oversight committee, the Democrats attack President Trump repeatedly. Doesn't matter what the issue is, doesn't matter what the topic is. They can't produce facts. They can't produce anything to make their arguments. They make it about personal character attacks on the former president of the United States and our Republican presidential candidate. Every single time they attack President Trump. They think the way to win an argument is to attack President Trump.
You got to say,
you talk
but
about
Trump.
character attacks, it goes on and on. Also, members of this committee attacked me repeatedly.
All right. Just real quick, I do want to say, I didn't see the full context. This is the first time I'm actually seeing the beginning part of the video before the actual cat fight. So I didn't necessarily know what the full context was, but just to, for seeing as we did play this whole part, already, she does have a very good point that it really is the Democrat strategy when it comes to really anything over the last few years. Is it anything that has to do with anything? Doesn't matter what it is. Fucking gun violence, but Trump. Fucking immigration, but Trump. Literally, that's the Democrat strategy for any sort of argument. It doesn't even matter, if it's in the Congress, if it's in the media, or it doesn't matter where it's at. If you just compare anything to Donald Trump, then hey, you're on the winning side, buddy.
Right. And you see in the comments, Outlaw 520, just let these bitches scrap. Sick
Right.
cat. Thanks, dog. Always try to represent the roots, right?
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, constantly. But they're offended when I say something back. And I think this needs to be called out, Mr. Chairman, because the hypocrisy is screaming and the American people watch it every single day. And I will not apologize for my words, and I will not change them. And I will not tolerate being treated this way constantly on this committee and in other committees. And I think that we need, if we're going to hold hearings like this and hold Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress, I think we should move forward and go ahead and do that. But the actual behavior that happens across the aisle in this committee of constant attacks on President Trump are unbelievable. And attacks on President Trump the weaponized government against President Trump. I want you to know something. He may be sitting in a New York courtroom with a sham trial with a political judge whose daughter works for Democrats. But I'll tell you right now, President Trump is up 10 points in Georgia because the American people see this for exactly what it is. They know what it is. And it's completely wrong. And the fact that our American people's hard-earned tax dollars were spent on the January 6th committee with no accountability is wrong too. I think Democrats should be held accountable for that and the wrongs that they've committed, and the fact that Peter Navarro is in jail right now and Steve Bannon may have to go to jail soon. And Mr. Chairman, I would ask that we can go ahead and move forward as soon as possible to hold Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. Thank you.
Obviously should end it. It's not even the one that shows them scrapping in here, right? But you know, yeah, this ain't even the one. It's not even showing them scrapping in this one. You know what I mean? Getting verbal, really. This was just MTG talking. But she's right. But then again, you know, she just said Trump like 48 times in fucking 4 minutes. You know,
Right. All right. Yeah, I think this one's the better one. If I could get this shit to load.
When members of the majority chose to join a mass spiritual
Mm-hmm.
To strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
needs to apologize.
recognizes
No, no, no.
Mr. Perry.
She needs to
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms.
I'm
Green
not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority.
pretty
No,
self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words.
I would like to strike
Move to
those
strike
words
the
as
lady's
well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to
Saying
strike.
Oh, they
Yeah.
cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's
control.
the correct apology. Ms. Green, do you ask unanimous? Do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Chair
Reserving the right
recognize- Okay.
Yep. So and that's part of it. Let me see if I could find the actual, what she said that led up to it.
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
ridiculous
Calm
shit,
down.
man.
Calm down. No,
Right.
because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through
So
proceedings.
I'm trying
Hey,
to get
Miss
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
So I wanna,
recognized. Miss
I can't
Crockett.
hear you with your
and you
yelling.
don't want
Calm
me to be-
down. Can
No.
you please calm
Don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take it.
control.
Because if
Look,
I
Chairman,
come
can we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right.
Sorry.
Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Exactly.
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes.
Not cute.
Wait, was that?
This is after the fact too. I feel like all these
Yeah.
videos are trying to cut MTG shit out. Like this is an obvious, bias right here. Like they're just showing
Yep.
the Democrats' reaction to her fucking words, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so really it was what did she say? Something related to
She said your fake eyelashes are getting in your way, basically, of seeing, and
Right.
and, all hell broke loose.
right. And then of course, what was it? AOC fucking wanted to make a motion to strike and to force her to apologize. And then MTG basically said, no, I'm not going to apologize. We could go ahead and strike the words, but I'm not going to apologize. And then what was her name? Fucking other chick basically comes back and says something about like, I forget the exact words she used. She used like four
Said-
adjectives.
She said, "Bad built body" or "bad built butch body."
right.
Fucking
right.
hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Ghetto is
Like-
shit. You know what I'm saying? But hilarious. Like
Yep. Yeah. Fucking absolutely hilarious. But at the same time, I mean, you almost think that this is actually, made for TV entertainment. You have to keep in mind, this is our Congress, these are the people representing the United States of America. So, I mean, it's all bad. And it really just, like I said, there's always been, heated political debates and stuff like that on the House floor and stuff like that, on the Senate floor. I mean, that's literally the purpose of having these discussions and stuff like that, is to hammer out the details. Sometimes they get heated. The difference is, you're not going to see two males basically arguing about like, oh yeah, shit, do you even shave that beard today? Like, bro, look at those fucking eyebrows, man. Did you even do what's like, that's not something you're going to see on the House floor. Coming from men. The worst you'll see is maybe some chest puffing real quickly. Yeah, I'll take you out, Beck. But that's about it. It's short, and then they pretty much come back to order. It doesn't continue on, and then they just keep escalating and like, oh well, actually no, you said this, but oh well, you started it. Well, no, they started it. Well, I want their words stricken. Oh, I'm striking it. It's fucking ridiculous,
Yeah.
and that's not to be all sexist or whatnot, but again, this is the people that are deciding the fate of the world, not necessarily anymore. I mean, they've really kind of delegated a lot of their power away to different executive orders and different bureaucracy, stuff like that. Really, there's this is what's become of the republic. At least this is what we're putting out to the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's why it's not the republic. It's their democracy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, their democracy. That's
Outlaw
that's
cat fighting. Imagine.
right. Yeah.
Good shit.
Shit, we're turning into idiocracy. That's what it's going to be before it's like, all right, well, we decided to settle this in the old-fashioned style of mud wrestling. Like that's what we're going to devolve into. At the rate we're going.
I'd rather see it go back to like founders, man. Like go out back and duel.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
Yep. Yeah, that's shit. And there's the reality, that's the way that this place was founded, so.
Yeah, outlaw out here, but they are supposed to represent the people, and it's supposed to be a government of the people. But you see, they're above and apart. You know what I mean? At least in their own minds.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. I guess when you could say fucking, people like AOC and shit, like, acting like children, they are representing the people that elected them, they are basically acting in the same way that the people that elected them would probably expect them to act. Someone from, the fucking, from AOC's district probably expected to be all like, oh, no, you didn't. Like that's, that's just the way it goes out there. They want the spicy Latina and all that, fucking identity politics, dumb shit. And so, really they are acting in the way that their constituency is really kind of expecting them to. It's just not the way that America, the world is expecting them to.
not to mention AOC is a literal actress that was hired on to fucking play a role, man. You know what I mean? And that role is problem starter, rabble rouser,
victim,
right?
Perma victim. Yep. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. But nonetheless, I guess entertaining, and again, I mean, there's really no fucking winners. There's no political points scored on either side in this, there's not too many Republicans that are proud of MTG for that fiasco, that charade, and I'm sure there's, obviously it doesn't look good in the eyes of people that may be considering voting Democrat to see, the Democrats acting in such a way as well, but either way, it's, pure entertainment, I guess. That's really all you could get from it. It's mindless entertainment. That's what our Congress is devolving into.
Dude, I mean, all of it's clown world, but I tend to be more disappointed in MTG. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be the older representative, and older as far as age-wise. Period. More wise, yada yada. You're supposed to be able to handle the situation, and
right.
You expect this kind of shit from the likes of AOC, but not a 50-some-year-old woman, man.
Yeah. Yep. It's just, like I say, it's really shit, dude. Either any one of us could probably fucking win a debate against, any of those fucking, people in there. Really, all you got to do is just insult their fucking, their makeup or something, or their shoes or something like that, and they'll just destroy themselves for the next hour, Yeah,
and then all you got to do is get pissed, and you got fools like Joe Biden out here, like Trump lost 2 debates to me. Like, no, he didn't, buddy. But, but that's the kind of fodder they use for that scenario, man. And, outlaw, like they say, it's all show, right? Political fucking theater, man.
Yep. And it's almost kind of like, the shows, the veil is being pulled, we're starting to see who the real fucking wizard is, behind the curtain. And, we're starting to realize you're like, it's a bunch of
They're
fucking
fucking
idiots.
failures.
Right. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of fucking morons, dude. Like it is a bunch of fucking, I mean, to use based in the old fucking Aristotle way, based fucking thinking morons, just they think fucking just duh, and just that's how they got fucking elected. Literally, what do you want me to say? I will say anything you want to get me power. Like that's literally their fucking entire milieu. And
Yeah,
and we
and like you
wonder
said,
why
it's their
we live the way
supporters
we
as
do.
well on that same level. That's why you
Yeah.
see them running around the fucking inner zones, like, commenting on your shit. Like, this is fake. This is AI. Joe Biden's fucking, you goddamn economy's the greatest of all times. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's $5-6 for a loaf of bread, son.
Right. Yep. Fucking yeah. It's only went up a couple percentage points, man. Yeah, like a couple hundred.
It was 9% when Joe Biden came into office.
Right. All right. That's another thing that's biting Joe Biden in the ass. But let's go ahead and switch gears on over to that. We got this election's looking like a landslide for Donald Trump, right? So basically, Joe Biden has agreed to debate Donald Trump, right? Of course, Joe Biden's got tons of terms, right? It's going to be fucking, hosted by, what is it, like CNN, a couple other legacy media channels and stuff like that. There's not going to be any audiences, anything like that. I'm not sure
CNN
there's
and like Telemundo or some shit.
right. It's gonna be on they're gonna do 2 different ones instead of what is the traditional, like 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're
So
gonna
it's either 3 or 4. Yeah.
right. Yeah. So I mean they're gonna cut it a little bit shorter, and another stipulation is RFK can't be on there because he's gonna steal my votes. Right. So I mean the thing with RFK, he's not gonna win anyway. So there's really no point to him kind of being up there. So I can understand, from that standpoint. But at the same time, I mean, from the Democrat standpoint and stuff like that, from the Democrat voter standpoint, I would have to imagine that that's also kind of disheartening because a lot of them would rather vote for RFK than Joe Biden. And the only thing is, Joe Biden did everything within his power to make sure that, RFK wouldn't be able to be on the Democrat ticket. That's why RFK had to run as an independent, because basically if he ran as a Democrat, then any delegates that he happened to pick up in any of the states would have automatically went to Joe Biden anyway, because that's just
For
the
the
kind of guy he
DNC.
is.
Right.
That's
Piece of
just
shit, man.
how they protect democracy. That's how they make sure that democracy is upheld, right? By making sure that you're not allowed to vote for anybody other than who they say you can vote for. Right. So there's that aspect to it.
A hilarious 15-second clip that took 20 cuts to make. Let's go, Brandon. And that is funny as shit, dude. You see all the stop fucking cuts, pretty hilarious. The dude couldn't get through 14 seconds.
Right. And that is one thing that makes me kind of, all I'm thinking about when it comes to, the debate is, what are the Democrats going to do to wiggle their way out of this? There's no way that old fucking dude that takes 15 fucking jump cuts to make a fucking 20-second video is going to be able to stand there and go toe to toe with Donald Trump on a stage. Even with, it doesn't matter who the fucking moderator is. It does not matter who the moderator is. I mean, shit, you could have fucking old Mr. Freeze anger on himself be the fucking moderator, and Trump would still fucking destroy both of them. It does not fucking matter, I mean,
I believe Trump will destroy him as well, but they're gonna backstrap him with the fucking time release limitless drug and directly into his fucking spine the whole time he's standing there, man.
right. Yep. Yeah.
Booger sugar, dude, it does help.
It sure does, right? We all know that they have some in the White House. We don't know
Right.
whose it is, but we know we got some there.
Yeah, they're finding it in the Capitol Police fucking station, on the floor, everything, dude. It's just cocaine all over DC, man.
Yeah, it's fucking raining coke. Yep. Yeah, dude, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that is one thing I do got to say, though, when it comes to the Biden economy, right? Food, gas, housing, fucking everything you could think of has gone up in price. Fucking ridiculous. But the drug market has gone on a straight fucking downturn. I mean, I don't do drugs anymore, but I could see it around. I still know fucking people that do drugs and shit like that. And those motherfuckers are strung the fuck out because they're paying $2 fucking for what used to be a fucking $30 bag back in the day. Like, hey, there's Bidenomics in
crazy, man.
action.
Right.
All right. Yeah,
Food and gas is more expensive, but drugs is plentiful and cheap. That's fucking really doing it, man.
right.
Yeah, it's crazy. And what's even crazier is like as commodities rise in prices because of this shit, when it gets to a certain level, they drop it off the gauge list. Like if you go on there now, they took coffee off. That was the most recent one because it's like fucking, more than doubled in price since Bidens took office, and that type of shit they can't have you seeing because that's an obvious, equates to way more than the fucking 1.4% they're telling you inflation is.
Right. That's that government math, man. And so all they got to do is, change the metric. That's how you lower inflation. Just change the metric with which we measure inflation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Common Core math. It went from arithmetic to Common Core math to now it's just pick and choose what we, show.
Right. Yep. Now it's fucking, which math is going to tell the best story from us. Now it's narrative math. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so that is another thing that has been kind of running across my mind though, is Biden did try to say that inflation was at 9.9 fucking something percent, 9.1% when he took office, and what was it, the CNN host, one of them, basically kind of called him out on it right away. And said, actually, you could look it right up. It was actually at 1.4% when you took office, sir. It didn't actually jump to 9% until about a year after you had taken office, right?
But then Biden started babbling, and it was just empty-eyed nods after that. You know what I mean? They don't really press them, man. And just comment. Did you see the clip of the guys that got some straws and a razor and needles in a baggie? No, he said it's supposed to help the cause, I suppose. No, I have no idea about it. Drugs supported by your trust in government. It's the fucking Biden crack pipe program and shit.
Right. That was not there's not going to be crack pipes. We're not giving out crack pipes. Fucking 1 month later.
It's
here's the kits.
Straws, man.
Right.
That way you don't fucking, spread goddamn mouth fucking AIDS or whatever.
Right. It's harm reduction kits, you guys. Yep.
Yeah, it's like California. I don't know if you've seen their spent $5 million buying vodka and shit for the homeless, dude. The fucking homeless alcoholics.
Fuck yeah. Shit, dude, move to California, man. That's the place to be. They know how to party, bro. Yep, fucking insane, man. Insane. But it is all, I guess, playing its role. It's like they say, it's got to get bad enough. I mean, I don't think California has a bottom. I'll be honest. I really don't. I think they'll still be sitting there covered in shit, telling themselves that this is paradise, you guys. Everybody's just so jealous of us. We're movie stars out here. I honestly think California is that permanently delusional. Good old fucking Tinseltown magic is just reigning over that place. But yeah, it's got to get bad enough, and I think a lot, as we're seeing from the polling numbers and stuff like that, and just, Donald Trump is fucking miles ahead of Joe Biden, right? Like miles. Every single swing state, he is, a good, within the margin of error, lead. Like there's no catching up for Joe Biden at this point. And at the fact that, at the rate that Joe Biden's fucking cognitive, ability is declining, Donald Trump's popularity is rising, and that I don't see that metric shifting anytime soon, right? And considering that he's got about 6 months left, there's zero chance. And so I'm starting to wonder, are a lot of these people starting to call out Joe Biden's, bullshit because they're trying to save face, because they realize that there's no stopping fucking Donald Trump. He's fucking coming through. He's fucking coming through like a motherfucking hurricane. You cannot stop this motherfucker. And I think they're starting to smell the grounds,
Yeah, and they're not the only ones, man. Like the White House apparently is in panic mode, according to some, supposed leaked documents. On the interior, the bureaucrats that are involved in the admin are pushing forward all this shit to cement Biden shit because they know Trump's walking in. Like basically making it to where Trump can't undo them or, back out of certain trade deals and promises of fucking loans and funding, shit like that. And they know, you know what I mean? And that's even the people that are still screaming, like, they're going to change Joe Biden out. I don't see it at this late in the day, especially if they go to a debate. I don't think that there's time for that kind of shit. One, and then two, it's like I said, they've kind of resigned to let's just fucking stifle Trump, get new legal fucking shit going. You know what I mean? They're gonna press lawfare through the whole thing, just like previous. Everything that he tries to do is going to be tied up in litigation and debate.
Right. But I mean, as we're seeing, that's even backfiring on them too. Like I say, there's nothing that they could do to this man that's going to that's not going to help him. I mean, especially like within the Stormy Daniels case, there is zero possibility that Trump could lose. Even if he fucking loses, he wins.
Right.
Like within the public eye, there's everyone is seeing that this is a political persecution, down to the point where CNN is even saying that this is looking kind of funny. I think I actually have a couple of clips here pulled up of the CNN copium.
Yeah, but as far as personal lawfare, like you're on. Like I think that shit's falling apart. But as far as administration lawfare, when he's in the White House, stopping him from passing bills, building walls, shit like that, we've seen that they were able to do that last time, man. Even though you could say there was so many miles of wall built, it didn't get finished because even his own party fucking stifled him.
Yeah, and so that's of course the big worry is even if he gets in, what's he really going to be able to get accomplished? I mean, it's
I think Outlaw tried to send us a link, dude, but I don't think YouTube's gonna let him restream or Rumble rather.
Yeah, if you follow me on X, go ahead and send it over. I got X pulled up here. If not, it's at BLUREE666. All right. Yeah, just go ahead and send it on over. But let's see. I got this one pulled up here. It's the defense attorney Randy Zellin tells CNN that Michael Cohen, caught lying on the stand, is not recoverable for the prosecution. He had one job to do and he couldn't do it on something so simple. Tell us about this conversation. All right, let me go ahead and pop this one up here.
Randy, thank you for waiting. Your turn now. Recoverable for the prosecution?
No. Can I stop there, or do you want me to keep going?
You can elaborate.
Michael Cohen, thank you. Michael Cohen had one job to do, and that was to put Donald Trump in the room and to have Donald Trump part of the conversation concerning the making of false entries in the books and records of the Trump organization in order to influence the election. False entries are the misdemeanor, elevated to a felony because it's in furtherance of another crime, which is election interference, election fraud. He had one job to do, and he couldn't do it on something so simple. Tell us about a conversation. And the worst part of it is on direct, he sounded so convincing. He sounded so smooth, so good. It was such a good day for the prosecution. Describes the conversation and then completely shoots the pooch where it looks like that conversation actually never happened. Done.
You blew it. Translation. You had one fucking job and you fucking blew it, Cohen. Right, that's the actual what he's actually trying to portray there, but of course he's trying to maintain some semblance of decorum, but that's about the gist of it. He had one fucking job to do. He sounded so great when he was talking about us when he was talking about it beforehand, but then once he gets on the stand, he fucking blows it completely.
Not to mention, the dude was, coached by the fucking January 6th committee. Primarily fucking, the most retarded male in Congress, old Dan Goldman, who also sent campaign contributions supposedly to the judge directly to the daughter's home and never actually wrote checks or sent checks to the campaign itself. So, do
you think Dan Goldman's really that dumb, or do you think he's just, I don't give a fuck it, I'll do it. I'll say that dumb, because he is, you cannot pull up a Dan Goldman clip without it being like, did he really just say that dumb shit? Like, the dude is a fucking moron, Like,
he's like the equivalent to a leftist Q, bro.
Right. The dude is a fucking retard, man. But yeah, apparently not as bad as Michael Cohen.
I will say this, as someone who spends a lot of time with these transcripts as part of my side hustle here, that conversation right there was actually only one of several conversations that Michael Cohen testified to. It was the shortest one, and it was the least perhaps important in telling the story about how, according to Michael Cohen, Donald Trump approved of the payments of Stormy Daniels, knew about how they were organized and whatnot. That call was on October 24th. On October 26th, Michael Cohen testified in great detail about a longer conversation he had with Trump where he talked about actually setting up the bank account. So does that no longer matter, that testimony, Randy?
Falsus in unum. I think that's the fancy Latin phrase, which for the rest of us means if you lied about one thing, I don't have to believe another thing that you say. And that is exactly what the judge will instruct the jury. If you find anything that a witness said to be untrue, to be incredible, to be a lie, feel free to disregard the entirety of that witness's testimony.
If you brought up Latin, there's nowhere else to go. Randy Zellin, we do appreciate your time this morning. Jennifer Rogers, thanks to you again. Randy, thank you for...
Again, we're fucked. Right? So you also have to keep in mind, not only did he lie, he lied 3 separate fucking times within the same fucking testimony. Like, that's bad, man. That is bad. All right. So they got the phone call, right? Where basically Michael Cohen was supposed to say, call Donald Trump and basically tell him like, oh, it has been done or whatever. Right. We found out that phone call was about a 14-year-old that was like talking shit to him, and he wanted to get Donald Trump's fucking the Secret Service to investigate him. Right. So
shit, bro, it's constant.
Right. Then the other thing was he was asked if he had ever spoken to Alvin Bragg. All right. He, of course, replied no. He was also asked if he was seeking revenge on Donald Trump. All right. Because, of course, then that's just the second one. I mean, yes, those two are a fucking combination one. Right. So he went on his podcast because, of course, Michael Cohen has a fucking podcast. Why wouldn't he? Right. And see, I don't know if I got the clip pulled up or not, but no, I don't think I have it. But yeah, he goes on his podcast and basically says, I want Donald Trump to feel what I had to go through. Because, of course, Michael Cohen, did not want to go to jail, but Michael Cohen did end up having to go to jail. And so he was kind of hoping that Donald Trump was going to bail him out, kind of rescue him. Right. That wasn't the case. And so, of course, now he was seeking revenge on the old Donald J. Trumps. Right. So he talked about how he met with Alvin Bragg. I do have the clip up here of his attorney basically saying, we'll pull that one up in a second. But he did basically say that he'd met with Alvin Bragg and basically said that he would be able to place Trump, I forget, on the phone call, something like that. And then the third one was basically whether or not he asked Donald Trump for a pardon. He said no, and they immediately pulled up the documentation and said, actually, yes, he did. Right. So multiple times
he was pissed. He thought he was supposed to be attorney general, which is fucking hilarious, right? And and on that podcast, like he said the Alvin Bragg shit, in court, he said I never met him on the podcast. He was like, oh yeah, I've met with him a bunch of times and we talked about the case, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so the dude just entraps himself steadily. Not to mention, he said that the money, he got the money that he paid to Stormy by taking out a fucking loan on his house, man. Like, what the fuck?
Who does that shit, man?
Right.
Somebody that's trying to fucking kiss the ass of one Donald J. Trumps. At least that's what I would assume. But let's see, we got this video here from Michelle, #FJB. It says, breaking. Wow, Michael Cohen's former attorney says, quote, virtually everything he said about me on the stand is a lie, and I have documents to prove it. Cohen needs to be locked up again for perjury. All right, so let's go ahead and check this video out real quick. It looks like it's kind of recorded off of somebody's TV, though, but either way, it's entertaining.
Joins me now. Welcome back to the program. Good to see you. So that's your word against his on the stand the other day. What do you say to the fact that he says that he was not being truthful with you in that conversation?
Well, first of all, it's not my word against his. I was there with my law partner.
Mhm.
Second of all, virtually everything that Michael Cohen has said, and I read his testimony, at least the part that relates to me, is a lie. And I have documents to prove it. He claims that right there in the clip that you just put on the screen that we brought a retainer agreement. Totally untrue. He didn't see a retainer agreement for at least 6 or 7 days after that. And we have emails that corroborate that. Michael Cohen lies from the beginning to the end. Now, the important part was he asked to meet with us right after his home and his law office were searched pursuant to a search warrant.
He called you,
When we
just
met
to be
him at the
clear. He
Regency
reached out to you.
Hotel. Right.
Yeah.
No, initially, my law partner, who knew him for 10 years, when he heard about the search warrants, he sent him a note saying, gee, I'm sorry to hear that you're having so much trouble. He said, I have a guy in my office, a partner of mine, who was deputy chief of the criminal division of that same office. If you ever want to pick his brain, just let me know. Cohen responded immediately, I'd like to meet with you guys. Can you come up here, meaning to the Regency Hotel, because all the reporters are following me and I can't leave my apartment without a slew of reporters. So we agreed to do that the next day. The two of us arrived. We went to a conference room on the second floor of the Regency Hotel. That's the first time I saw Michael Cohen. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. He was pacing back and forth from left to right on the other side of the conference table like a caged animal at the zoo. And he told us that he was suicidal. He said 2 nights before he was on the roof of the Regency Hotel, ready to jump off the roof and kill himself because he knew he couldn't handle the enormous legal problems that were coming his way. Now, when you have a guy who's that manic, and he was manic that day, marching back and forth, and he's asking you to provide him with the escape route, that's what he called it.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get out of this? What's the escape route? And actually, if you look at the memos that I did about that meeting, you'll find out that I told Michael Cohen that the easiest way to solve all of his legal problems was he clearly wasn't the target of the Southern District's investigation. Donald Trump was. I said, therefore, if you have truthful information about Donald Trump that implicates him in anything, I can have your problem solved by the end of the week.
Yeah. Let me ask you,
But
because
it has to be truthful.
yeah. Now, you also testified before the grand jury, and we reported on this yesterday. And you said that, Bragg and his folks were not interested in the exculpatory information that you had. It appears that they really wanted to keep Michael Cohen sort of in a zone where they felt like he was their star witness, and you were potentially damaging that for them. So they wanted nothing to do with the information that you had. Do you think that you will be called by the defense to testify on Monday? Have you had any communication with Trump's defense?
Well, let me put it to you this way. First of all, as I understand it, on Monday, they're still continuing the cross-examination
Yeah, they
of
have to
Michael
finish.
Cohen.
Yeah.
After he finishes that cross-examination, then the district attorney's office will get a chance to inquire again, redirect. I don't know how long that's going to take. And then after that, I'm sure they're going to make motions to dismiss this case.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, the judge should dismiss the case, but I suspect that he will not. So I don't think anything is going to happen on Monday. My best guess is if they decide to put on a case, they will call me if they decide to do that. But I think that might be Tuesday or Wednesday if that happens.
All right. He's going to jump. In the words of Joe Biden, stop, don't jump.
Right. Yeah, man, it's imagine the fucking quality of the case that you have that you consider Michael Cohen, a dude that just did prison time for lying to the fucking FBI and Congress, as your star witness. You know what I mean? Fucking
Right.
hilarious shit. Dude, if
And then-
you want to see a glimpse of clown world, you're fucking living it right now. Just pay attention. And just
Right.
see Outlaw said he couldn't message you, but he tagged you in that clip, man.
Yeah, let me see. I'll pull it up right now in just a second. But first, let me go ahead and pull up who their star witness is real quick. All right, so their other star witness, one Stormy Daniels. Let's go ahead and check out this interview from a little while back with Bill Maher. and I'll go ahead and hit the stab while we're
know
doing
what she's saying now? She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex.
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy.
Right. I thought that was the one with Stormy Daniels. Basically, was it on
that one I sent you, dude? It's when she's on the show and she says, "I wasn't coerced." You know what I mean? Like, you know, it wasn't a Me Too moment, none of that kind of shit. And then he goes into that right there and says that wasn't what she was saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking for the original one where she was saying that she wasn't coerced or anything like that. But yeah, but basically, so previously on other shows, she had said that she was not coerced. You know, it was not a Me Too thing, anything like that. And she even said that they were trying to get her to act like it was a Me Too type thing, right? And she said that it totally wasn't anything like that. All right. She even kind of laughed, like, I don't know why I slept with Donald Trump. Right. And then, of course, come to the actual court date now. And it looks like she probably went ahead and took that deal and decided to take whatever the fuck they were offering her. And she went ahead and decided to try and make it into a Me Too thing. Right. So, again, this just kind of perjured her, or not perjured her. Fuck, what's the word? It's basically it preemptively it gives the jury an unnecessary picture of the situation, because of course the jury is not here to hear whether or not Donald Trump slept with Stormy Daniels or not. That's what he's not on trial. He's not on trial for that. He's on trial for supposed misappropriation of campaign funds, right? And of course the other thing too, which, you know, we forgot about too for a second, was the other thing too is the whole reason that this is going to trial and is being considered a felony is because that was supposed to be in furtherance of an actual felony, because of course misappropriation of campaign funds is not a felony, right? So yeah, it's supposed to be in furtherance of another felony, which they swore up and down like, oh, there's another felony coming. Don't worry. We're just not going to tell you what it is, but we know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. They really played that exact card all the way up until this point. And guess what? No additional felony, no mention of anything like that. Dude, this case is open and shut. This thing is done. All right. But
yeah, and it's a case that the Federal Election Commission refused to take up previously, said there was no crimes committed. You know what I mean? And even Biden's DOJ, you know what I mean? That tells you if Merrick Garland thought that he could have got Trump with this shit right here, he would have. And he, turned down the chance to fucking try it because it's worthless shit. And like you said, this dude's trying to fucking try him federally for what is a state fucking misdemeanor. That's, like most things, it's like coming past fucking statute of limitations for that type of shit as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Fucking, nothing there, pure political persecution, and people are aware of it, right? This was a bad move, right? This was not just like again, the things that people care about, the things that might sway people in the slightest was either January 6th or fake electors, whatever the fuck that is, right? Those are the only two fucking things that could really have swayed voters, right? And those are basically going out the window, right? Of course, we got the January 6th thing that's the one being decided on by the Supreme Court right now, whether or not the presidential right. So that one's pretty much down the drain, right? Then we also got the what is it? Fucking I forget.
Classified documents. Fucking Judge Cannon down in Florida.
Yep. So that one's been pretty much put on indefinite hold. So that one, another one bites the dust, right? And then we got Fulton County, right? And obviously that one's not going well either, right? We got the fucking the what is this? The fucking the DA sleeping with fucking special counsel. Yeah, that one's going down the tubes as well, right? So just about every single thing they have is going down the motherfucking drains for them. And then at the same time, as we mentioned earlier, in 2 months, you're gonna have Hunter Biden starting his trial for the gun charges, basically, where he lied on a federal form again. I don't want to get into the whole semantics because I disagree with this law entirely. I don't, I'm 2A absolutist, right? So the whole FFL, like, and all that shit, I'm not a fan of it. So, I'm not going to argue whether or not I believe it's a good law, but either way, he's going to be on trial for it. And again, it is something that a lot of Democrats, a lot of limp-wristed Democrats, are very passionate about, right? They're very, very passionate about proper gun safety and all this and that type of shit, right? And they definitely don't want people throwing their guns away in dumpsters next to a motherfucking school. So this is going to be one that's going to really kind of hold close to the Democrats' hearts, especially people that are already, shrugging off the prospect of voting for Joe Biden again, right?
And for everything being Russian disinformation, you got, like you said, the gun trial, and he's going on trial for fucking tax evasion as well. All this shit, they've refused to give him any kind of leniency thus far. Whether it turns out to be show or not, we'll find out, right? But so far, they're like, we're not reinstating no sweetheart deals, and we're not dismissing shit.
Yep. Yeah. So, like I said, it's the writing is on the wall, and like I said, you're seeing the media starting to try and do a slow 180. You're seeing the deep state starting to do a slow 180. Donald Trump is unstoppable, right? The people have spoken.
Yep, and Joe Biden's going to do everything he can. They're rescheduling of Mayor Janes and throwing money to black colleges, and he's going to try to forgive more student debt. Dude, he just gave more fucking money to Ukrainians. I mean, he's just going to try to buy his way back in. And
Right.
If you think that this dude can actually fucking hold it down for another 4 years, you're fucked up in the head. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, not to mention, the dude's losing the black vote to Donald Trump. Like, fucking A, man. I mean, of course, we already knew what a racist piece of fucking shit, Joe Biden was from the get-go, right? It was just getting other people to realize it. And it's, it was something that we didn't actually think was going to fucking go down. We didn't actually think people were going to ever take into fucking context. Like, the dude gave a fucking eulogy for the fucking exalted Cyclops of the fucking Ku Klux Klan. Like,
right.
We're not going to ever fucking get those clips of, I don't want my children growing up in a racial jungle. We never thought that people were going to fucking actually finally put 2 and 2 together, but it seems like that might be the case. Right. And again, when it comes to Democrats, their thing is fucking is power. Their thing is power and fucking pandering to the people that are willing to give them that sort of power. Right. That's why it comes to a point you can't do a lot of the stuff that you've been promising to these people. Reparations are never going to fucking happen. Like, sorry, it's not a fucking even like economically feasible reality. Like that's not, there's no possibility that could ever happen without some sort of extreme fucking violent, situation taking place beforehand. Right. And that's just fucking ridiculous. Right. But they're going to promise it every fucking election. And it's going to get to a point where they're going to say, black people are going to come to the point where they're going to be like, I think they've been lying to us. I think we're getting to that point right now.
That's again, that's what Biden does with your money. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of doing reparations, but it's on the back end and it's in little spurts. Like,
Right.
They're given guaranteed contracts to rebuild airports and shit with that whole infrastructure bill. And it's only going to be black and women owned fucking companies. You know what I mean? Like I said, they're throwing cash to, black colleges. There's a whole list of shit that he's doing that is, it's kind of like reparations, but just without people voting on it or agreeing to it. You know what I mean?
I wonder how, I wonder how it would go. Like, if you were to get rid of the Civil Rights Act altogether and you would just have like a fucking airline, like absolutely no blacks and no women flying our planes. Like, I wonder how you're like, if that was like a thing you were legally allowed to do, like the way that they're able to say, like, oh, we celebrate diversity here, meaning basically, we hire blacks and women, almost exclusively here. If you were able to say the opposite of that, by getting, which again, both are a violation of the fucking the supposed Civil Rights Act. But can you imagine if you were to do it the other way? Like, I wonder what business I should invest my money in. Like,
the only example that I know of in reality, man, is some guys in Texas tried to start the Caucasian College Fund, and they were actually raising money, but the state government came in and shut it down, and that's in Texas. Yeah.
Yep. Came in, crack that whip.
Mhm.
Of course, you can't be doing that, man. That's discrimination minimums. We could kick Whitey out of anywhere we want.
So, it's cool if you want to donate to the United Negro College Fund. That's totally copacetic and a quality in these.
Yeah, you're fighting the good fight. You're fighting for equity. We don't say equality anymore. That's a Republican thing now. The fucking clown world, man. Absolutely ridiculous shit. But at the same time, at least we're starting to see the limits, maybe. Like, again, I've been saying, this whole show basically that like Donald Trump's got this in the bag, and I get, I want to reiterate, like I do constantly, on most other shows, that don't get complacent. Make sure you still fucking tell all your fucking friends, tell your fucking mom, dad, your grandma, your fucking cousins, everything, when election day is going to be, when they got to be registered by, get all that shit going. Don't get complacent. Make sure you stay active, make sure you stay ready, and let's stomp the fucking shit out of them. If we have it that much in the bag, then we should go and stomp the fucking shit out of them. But the only way we could go stomp the shit out of them is we actually get out there, go stomp the shit out of them.
Right.
By voting. Of course, not saying literally go stomp it, but go vote the fuck out of those people. Go vote harder, guys.
Yeah, don't get Merrick Garland on you, man. Fucking it's really did. I mean, you seen that shit, right? Where he, did that little interview, and he's saying, if you threaten or try to coerce or what I mean, intimidate any kind of poll workers, volunteers, all this kind of stuff, we will use the full weight of the law. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that should be taking place either. But we all know who's actually guilty of that. That shit started with Obama and Acorn, like in fucking Chicago and Philadelphia. You know what I mean? So, but projection, you know what I mean? But like you're saying earlier, there you don't think there's a limit. I think there is a limit, and they'll reach it if they can. They'll spend us into fucking oblivion. We're going to see that limit, and it's going to be real painful. The only thing that has stopped it thus far is the petrodollar. And, some of the most oil-rich countries in the world are trying to undo that for us real quick.
Right.
And, California, I mean, they've spent, massive amounts, and it just destroyed the state. And, I know people love to fucking, like you said, it's paradise. But when, this guy took over, there was a multi-billion-dollar surplus of just a few years back. And now they're in, a multi-billion-dollar fucking deficit. And, nothing's changed. It's only gotten worse. And, again, they're going to see their limit. I mean, you can only spend so much of other people's money. And at this point now, if you make under $155,000 a year, you're considered below the poverty line there. So, I mean, how much longer before everybody that's left there is fucking homeless?
Right. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's why they're going to socialize everything and make sure we just take fucking all the other taxpayers' money and send it over there. We're going to make a fucking, I don't know, but a trash state. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like in India right now, the world's largest fucking trash fucking dump is on fire. Like they're burning a literal fucking mountain of fucking trash. And in California, they're fucking, you got to turn off your sprinkler for, 12 hours a day and you can't shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude.
Right. Fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely ridiculous. Dude, they truly just purely fucking changed the they took the metrics, the outline of what a basic religion is supposed to be, and they just inserted fucking earth, fucking climate, it's all your guys' fault, everybody's to blame, so give us your money so we can help fix it. Like, they literally just fucking turned fucking climate change into the fucking world's most fucking beggingest religion there ever was.
Yeah.
Save Mother Gaia, everybody.
And it's only going to get worse. I mean, because they push for control, and they push buttons to see how far that they can push the populace. And COVID was a pretty big indicator that they can push pretty far. And you remember that was like, it's a once in a lifetime's fucking, virus. It's pandemics. It's, this only happens once every so many hundreds of years. And now every week they try to roll out a different one. Like, we got a new pandemic starting. It's birds flus. It's swine's flus.
Yep.
It's, you know
Watch
what I mean?
out. It's coming, you guys. It's the latest and greatest sensation sweeping all the nations. Created
All
in
they
the
need
lab
is
down
something
in
similar
Wuhan,
to
funded
last
with your
time, like,
tax dollars.
a decent size group to fucking panic, like seniors or what have you.
Yep. Yeah. It fucking just came out today too. Fucking the NIH just admitted that in fact we did fund gain of function research in Wuhan prior to COVID.
Right.
Even though your entire livelihood would have been destroyed over the past several fucking years if you said that, if you tried to push that conspiracy, that's not true. Yeah, just conspiracy theorist. How could you not trust your great mother government? We'd never
And
do
the
something
ex-head
like
of the
that.
NIH came out and said there's absolutely zero science behind the 6-foot thing. That they basically just came up with it. Like, let's run with that.
Yep. Fucking Colton, it's fucking Colt 101, dude. Just do this and then keep doing this and then do this until I tell you to stop. And if you can get them to keep doing this dumb shit, you fucking got them. You fucking trapped them, I mean, it's fucking, that's fucking, Jim Jones, all that shit, fucking, it's all those crazy motherfuckers,
You
That's what they-
remember Operation, what was it, Deep Helm or something shit like that? You remember that? It was a few years back, and like there was Walmarts even that closed down that was supposed to be like these urban military drills and shit. You know what I mean? And it supposedly in that fucking whole deal, the paperwork, the breakdown of the objective was a virus, man-made or natural, gets released into the population. You know what I mean? And you see like one of the first places to acquiesce with all the fucking, supposed regs and stuff was old Walmarts. You know what I mean? They had armed guards standing in the door, like, put your mask on, Dad. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't very many places that it was to that extent.
Yep. Shit, fucking the donut shop down the street from my house still has an armed guard. I don't know why. Yeah, fucking
I
that
got
Amy's
robbed a grip of times, man.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it is fucking, in the ghetto, right there on First or Stone and Fort Lowell. It's fucking like Amy's Donuts.
I was just gonna say Amy's,
right.
man.
They got a fucking dude standing out front with the fucking AR at all times, guarding the fucking donuts, dude. Like,
that place sells out, dude, like crack.
They make
guess,
some
man.
bomb donuts, dude. Like, they make some
I
weird
went
shit.
there once and it was weird shit. It was like donuts with like a Snickers sticking out of it and shit.
Yeah, it's they make some crazy shit. Like I haven't been there in a good long time, but fucking my kids, they make like fucking Elmo and Cookie Monster ones and shit like that. Like, make some pretty cool stuff there. They got some pretty bomb ones there, but I guess I can understand why you need an armed guard there.
It makes a lot of fucking money for a donut joint, dude.
Right. Fuck yeah. But real quick, let's go ahead and get into this post over here that our Outlaw 520 sent us. Let's see. So this one's from I Meme, Therefore I Am. It says, to fight climate change, California Democrats took away plastic straws, but to fight drug addiction, they gave free drug kits with plastic straws. Make it make fucking sense. Oh, fucking California, man.
So I don't know if I guess they trying to teach you how to be safe with sniffing dope? Or how the hell is they teach you how to be safe with sniffing dope when it's all self-destruction, mental destruction? And they give out, now what the hell is going on here? I don't know. Y'all tell me. They give out numerous straws. They give out straws. This for you to put your dope on. Hold on. Something for you to put your dope on. The razor to chop it up. They give you a razor to chop the shit up. Feel like you the plug. They get you a scooper for the little old school dope sniffers. They used to do it on the hand with the. Wow. Hood Happy TV. Baltimore.
Fucking A, man.
They might as well stop locking us up and selling shit. They might as well stop locking a nigga up and selling this shit. Shout out to the drug dealers.
They said he gave him old school apparatuses and shit, bro. Fucking, they're trying to bring back old trends and shit. Like, no, you could be fucking snorting your fucking pills like this, Bobby.
Right? You guys ever tried growing out a pinky nail? Right? Fucking ridiculous, man. Like, try and tell me that they weren't fucking pushing crack into fucking these neighborhoods back in the fucking day. Like, yeah, I know our government was fucking pushing that shit in these motherfucking places because it's intentional. They're the same reason why they won't fucking shut down the border. Same reason why they won't fucking go fight the cartel. Same reason why they won't fucking designate them as terrorist organizations. Same reason why the Mexican government won't even fucking do anything about the cartels, dude. Like, they want all this shit. Like, this is control. This is how you keep people fucking, captive. This is how you keep people under control.
Scared, bro. Like 148 politicians have been killed there in the last fucking year. You know what I mean? And our news don't even cover that shit. You don't even hear about it.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, fucking those. It's insane. Again, we could fucking change it. We could. We just don't want to. It's much more useful for us the other way around.
They only clean up when companies coming over, like communist fucking dictators and shit.
Right. And every good nation needs a boogeyman, Everybody needs something to be afraid of.
Yeah, the wars on drugs.
Yeah. If it wasn't
There's
for us. Right. Yeah, shit. The funny thing is they don't have these like type of fucking, huge fucking drug addiction problems, like on the border towns, as the same way that we do here in every fucking town in America, They, at least on the border towns and shit. I haven't really been there, but of course, living right next to the border, I've met a lot of people throughout my life that have lived on the other side of the border, and they basically like, yeah, no, they'll fuck you up if you're out there all strung out on the streets, like, they don't want to see that shit. Nobody's doing drugs there. If like, they'll do coke and shit like that. Like the people that are, out there making money and shit, fucking the people that are like the drug lords and shit, they do fucking coke and go to the bars, but ain't nobody out there all fucking strung out in the streets, fucking shitting on themselves. Like, right. It's fucking, people get chopped up and shit for less out there.
Like how these fools come here and shitting in the streets and shit. They don't do that back home, dog.
Yep. Shit, America just ain't got no sense, man. But what are you gonna do?
Right. If they're gonna send some shit out, man, at least make it good, dude.
Yep. Fucking
let's get some
straws in
little.
Right. God damn, man. And the funny thing is too, like a lot of the people that like there's two different sides of the fucking legalization, I guess groups. There's the people, like that are on the libertarian side that are basically like, fuck it, dude. Let drugs be legal. Let people fucking make them be their own folly. Let them fucking make their own mistakes. If they fucking die, if they die, they die. But then there's the other fucking side that like, no, make drugs legal, give people safe shoot up spaces so that way everybody could just be high and happy all the time. Matter of fact, the government should supply drugs to anybody that wants to do drugs. And like there's that fucking side of the the legalization side, which is pretty much what I'd like to call the Washington State side, right? Was it Washington State that decriminalized, or was it Oregon?
One of the two, but I mean, they're the fucking same place, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Shit. Just let fucking, let fucking, what is it, East Washington or East Oregon? Go to fucking Idaho. Yeah. Let fucking, East Oregon, just connect with Idaho, and then fucking, Washington and fucking Western Oregon could just go ahead and connect themselves, and then just make it two different states. You guys will fucking love it,
Yeah, I mean, because there's a portion, like you said, that wants to break off. That that they're not down with funding the liberal agenda, and
Yep,
that's
the Greater
that's
Idaho
who's doing
movement.
it there. Yeah,
Yeah, support.
yeah. And Idaho's blowing up, man. Apparently,
Yeah,
like Boise's like a hot spot. Actually, even younger people, I guess. You know what I mean, moving there and shit, just because of affordability and shit, and clean, fucking nice joint.
yeah.
Just like we always point out, like they destroy their shit, and then they're gonna move to your neighborhood, man, and fucking vote in Scaby Hobbs.
Yep. Yep. Fucking more California plates than you could shake a stick at, brother.
Yeah, and I keep hearing those figures now, like even from like more right-leaning figures, where they're like, actually, people that tend to leave like California and stuff, they're the more right-leaning, and they're actually voting more conservative. Like, obviously, you don't live in one of those fucking states, man.
Right. Liberalism is a mental disorder. It's not
Right.
something that you just move away from. You
Yeah,
take
I
it
mean,
with you.
Yeah, you don't think it's your fault.
Right.
I mean, it's not because of how we voted, fucking, my whole life and shit.
Right. I didn't do this, man. It's the fucking city, man. I'm out of here. Find the next purple state to move to.
Right, real shit.
Yep. Fucking welcome to Clown World, people.
Bizarro, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if you ever fucked with Superman as a kid, but Bizarro was like a distorted mirror image of everything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
good shit.
Yeah.
Exactly
I
what it
was
reminded me
never
of.
I was never too big of a reader as a kid, to be honest. I grew up I was the early digital age, I grew up with Super Nintendo as a fucking, 5 years old and shit,
Right.
That was my generation. So I was part of the first fucking media manipulation, mind control generation,
I had the Atari 2500, dude, but back then it was just different fucking environments across the country, dude. Like your
Right.
parents were like, "You can't be playing that all the time. Get the fuck outside, man." You know what I
Right.
mean? And now those same people are like, you say that to your kid, their grandkid, and they're, "Why are you being mean to them?" They're just
Right.
trying, you know what I'm saying? Like, what
Meanwhile,
the fuck? You beat the shit out of me, man.
they're over
You
there
know?
all fucking
Right.
5 and 6
Across
years
the
old and
board,
shit.
though, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
Insane.
the older generation, like our parents, our grandparents, the same people that were telling us don't play in the fucking road or riding their bikes on main roads and shit. You know what I mean? The same cats that were like, you guys don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay. They're like, yeah, you need to decriminalize marijuana. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like fucking John Boehner in Ohio owns, one of the biggest grows in the state there now. And he was, Speaker of the House, and, drugs are bad. Like,
Right. Fucking hypocrites, man.
right.
Yep. Shit, anything else you want to throw in tonight, man?
No, I'm good, man. I mean, share shit, right? Like you were saying earlier, most people don't know the shit about, Joe Biden's and the laptop and, the diary, all that shit. They're still running around in their minds like, the FBI cooperated. That's Russians' disinformation is. You got to share that shit, man. Trump's held up in court. Dude can't do shit. Fuck, help out. MAGA,
Right.
man.
Right. You notice that is kind of funny though, how they're not trying to use the whole fucking thing like, well, he was actually trying to spend money so that way he could get her to be silent. So that way people wouldn't know about it before the election because they know that fucking Joe Biden has done the exact same thing. All you got to say is Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not to mention right now, the dude's using executive fucking privilege to keep the her tapes from the public, man. I mean,
Right.
You've already heard some of the transcripts and how damning it is for Biden, but they don't want you to hear that shit for real.
Yep. Yep. And again, too, he's trying to use fucking executive privilege, but he wasn't necessarily an executive at the time. Now, was he? He
Right.
happened to be a vice executive at the time of the incident, so therefore, you can't necessarily use executive privilege to go ahead and get those interview kind of swept under the rug. But of
And
course, he's
apparently,
going to.
like Bongino was saying something to the effect that like an executive relinquishes privilege when you agree to the fucking investigation, the interview, to partake in it. You know what I mean? Like you have to basically verbally say it, to begin the fucking, what would amount to basically an interrogation.
Yeah. So I think Joe Biden's just beyond the point of giving a fuck.
Right.
I
He's
think
a
that.
dead body, man.
Oh yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for him in so many different ways. I think he knows the chickens are coming home to roost, so to speak, in terms of all of his evil doings down on him, and of course his co-conspirators, including the Biden crime family. He's also seeing the writings on the wall. Donald Trump is going to win. He's also starting to see that uh, basically everybody's starting to see that he went on an entire political witch hunt for the entire 4 years that he was in office. Everything's fucking coming home to roost on the old man, and I don't think he's going to ever live to see any of it.
Yeah, and that shit we didn't mention when we were talking about the trials. I mean, it's all coming out and shit, like you're saying. And with Bragg, they've admitted to deleting fucking, exculpatory fucking evidence. And then with the Jack Smith case in Florida, they've admitted to staging shit. Even the pictures you saw of the classified files at Mar-a-Lago were staged to the point that they brought those cover sheets that said, secret and top secret and all that shit with them to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, completely corrupt shit. But, not that it matters because they would never vote for Trump anyway. But actual leftists will never accept this shit as reality. Everything you post, they're like, that's not real. That's fake. That's AI. That's fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think a lot more of the independents are starting to see the absolute partisan corruption, the absolute I guess perversion of the justice system, and are starting to just lean away from Biden? Or do you think they're starting to lean away from the Democrats?
I would imagine it's a little bit of both, and I do think that they're seeing it if the polls are correct, because you're actually seeing Trump gain some independent support, which he sorely lacked previous years. So obvious, they're catching on too, and even if you're libertarian, you're like, Trump's no libertarian, nothing like it, yada yada. I understand that completely, right? But you want a country left to try to make libertarian, right?
All right. No, I mean, Donald Trump, he is going to be speaking at the Libertarian National Convention, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy shit.
Right. That's going to be interesting, man. Of course, a lot of the they have a lot of similarities, but then they also have a lot of very, very, stark differences, And so it's going to be really interesting to see, the reception that he gets, see if he ends up changing any mind, see if he ends up, gaining any support, anything like that. Again, I think a good majority of libertarians are, just going to hold their nose and say, fuck it. At least he's not a Democrat, but, we'll see, if he could maybe kind of merge the two ideas together. Of course, we definitely don't want the libertarian people going any more left, because if you ever talk to those fucking leftist libertarians, oh my god, they're fucking retarded. Open borders, fucking everybody's do everything. It doesn't matter. Those people are fucking retards.
Yeah, and there's only a small group that's like level-headed as far as libertarians go. They attack each other constantly. I mean, if you want to see a fractured party, look no further, man. I mean, you go on to fucking storyboards and whatnot, and they're just fucking destroying each other, dude.
Right. Who would have thought of fucking people that literally thrive on look how independent and free thinking, and I actually disagree with look at how much of a fucking contrarian I am. Who would have ever thought that party wouldn't be able to hold themselves together in order to come behind one person's ideas and go ahead and put that person forward to be their champion? Who would have ever thought, such a group of individuals couldn't come together,
All right. So I always say, man, common interest.
Right.
People say, do you think a billionaire cares about you with the old Trump schools? And I always say, probably fucking not in the least. I mean, about me personally, absolutely not. Right. But, Dude, we got fucking common interests, man. I mean, he likes to be rich, and fuck, I want some monies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander, man.
Right.
Or however the fuck that goes.
A good economy is good for us all, man.
Yep. Yeah. But we shall see, man. Of course, this week has been a bit of an uplift in the tragedy that has been the fucking last 4 years in America. But again, don't worry, it'll get disheartening again real soon. There's still plenty of time until January of next year. That's really when we're hopefully out of the fucking woods. I don't know. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be beyond the deep state to get presidents on inauguration day. I wouldn't put it past them, right?
Right. We're fucking. We got locks down. The swine's fluzes.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, there's still so much that can happen, and that will happen because our government is corrupt as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
no
And
way.
don't
Still.
forget that Democrats are already drawing shit up in the Senate and in Congress to fucking try to start impeachment processes and legal ways to fucking not certify a Crumpsicles presidency, man. So it's gonna get hairy, I'm sure.
Yep. Yeah. Shit. We'll see. I mean, hopefully we can pull through. Again, I think the public sentiment is growing on the side of Donald Trump every day, especially in terms of geopolitics, man. We didn't even really talk about geopolitics tonight. Geopolitics is still a total shit show. No matter how things may be turning around here in America, geopolitics is still a fucking shit show right now. Down to the fucking BRICS nations, down to the fucking devaluation of the dollar, down to the fucking growing allegiance between Russia and China. That's not fucking good for us.
And the yuan. And
Right.
a bunch of the BRICS nations now are trading yuan, man.
Yep. They're fucking throwing off fucking the SWIFT system. They're fucking they're basically we've destroyed nations for less. Except we've never necessarily had to face a nation or a conglomerate of nations this powerful before. So again, this is shaping up to be real bad. And basically anywhere beyond this point, it's gonna be a multipolar world, unless there's some fucking great war that's going to completely destroy every fucking thing again and basically make everybody have to pick up the pieces and start from square one. And whoever drops the biggest fucking bomb is the person that ends up having the fucking unipolar power. We're going to turn into a unipolar world, and that's just what it's got to be. It's going to be civilizationalist, and basically America has got to relearn what it means to be America, because it's not like we're going to be taken over. I mean, fucking maybe by fucking dipshit Antifa-tards getting within the government, but ultimately we're not going to be fucking taken over as a country by some foreign fucking entity. We're not going to be annexed by fucking Russia or fucking China, any shit like that. We're still going to remain a country. We're just going to be pretty broken up, possibly even divided, geographically even, who the fuck knows, but ultimately the biggest hope is that Donald Trump can get into office. Basically, he could turn fucking our economy around. He could get us back on a decent standing geopolitically. He can end a lot of these, foreign conflicts that are going on that we have been funding for the last 4 years. And basically he can get us to maintain a position of power within this new multipolar world. And that's really kind of the best hope.
Yeah, and it sucks because that hope's dwindling, like I said, with Biden admin bureaucrats pushing shit through. The word on the street there is that September is the cutoff to push, through things to cement the bureaucracy and, the shit for Ukraine. Apparently, they're trying to hammer out a deal that'll fund them for 10 years. You know what I mean? So that's well past the Trump presidency, man.
Right. And not to mention, Ukraine just announced that there will be no more elections until all Ukrainians can vote, including Crimea. So,
so that's
in other words,
it's fucking Zelensky for life, son.
Yep. Yep. Because not fucking feasibly possible that that's ever going to happen. Crimea, fucking the Donbass region, pretty much the entire fucking eastern part of Ukraine is Russian. Like it's become Russia now. They ain't getting that back. And
for a decade, as far as Crimea is concerned, man. You know
right,
what I mean?
right. Like that's not reality. So basically, Zelensky has just announced himself as president, for life or death, whichever comes first.
Yeah, and aren't you glad that $200 billion went over there to protect democracy, dude?
Right. Yeah. You fell for it.
Put the flag in your bios.
Right. Yeah. At the same time, there's been so many fucking different reports of corruption. Fucking billions of dollars are just missing. We don't know where they went. They went into someone's bank account and that just disappeared somewhere off into the ether.
Right. And they're like, well, we fired them though. Right. They're
Right.
out blowing the cash now, man.
Right. Fucking insane, dude. Fucking stupid is what it is. It's just straight stupid, And at the same time, just wait until we fucking start getting all this information back from Israel and all that we've been sending to Gaza at the same time. It's absolute fucking clown show. It's shit. We make more war than fucking anything. We don't fucking broker peace deals. We broker fucking war deals between nations. That's what we do. That's what America's, that's what we fucking went ahead and took our new world order and did with it. Right? We just started pitting other nations fucking against other nations that we have problems with. You started
Where's
fighting
all the
proxy
environmentalists,
wars.
dude?
Right.
You know what I mean? They're fucking, worried about your car and shit. And, everyone's going to die in 5 years. Meanwhile, these people are just blowing shit up and, burning mad fucking diesel and oil. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, just keeps going, dude. Like, but instead they're fucking freeze. Palestine's is
right.
Easily swayed. Now
Yep.
focus on this. Now on this.
Yeah, like I said, they took the basic fucking fucking shit. Hitler actually talked about doing this exact fucking thing in his table talks. Basically, he said that we're going to get rid of religion and we're going to make our own state religion. We're basically going to take the exact framework of religion and we're going to insert different elements of the state within there to keep people subservient to the state. And that's basically exactly what they've done with fucking climate change and basically all of this fucking leftist globalist bullshit that's going on. All of this fucking equity and all of this other stupid fucking Marxism and shit. Like that's the world that we're living in. It's fucking 1984 for real. Like, yeah. Hopefully, a lot of like again, I see a lot of fucking people throughout the world are fighting back. Like there's a lot of populist movements around the world, and again, I do believe that the globalist agenda is going to ultimately collapse, and I think it's going to be much more, like I said, multipolar. World in the end, but yeah, damn, it's fucking insane right now.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like I said, it's only going to heat up. It's elections across the West at minimum. I don't know about as far as Eastern countries are concerned or what have you, but quite a few across the West, man.
Yep. Shit. Well, good luck out there, everybody.
Right.
All right, man. Oh, we appreciate you guys stopping by. It's been a damn good show tonight.
Damn good.
Yeah, and if I do sound a bit creepy, it's because I've been sick all the last week and I was kind of dry heaving and now my throat sounds like this. But anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like this video, share this video out with your friends. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure you guys get over, follow this guy's channels, follow all of our other channels on Alt Tech in the links below. We also have merch, get you some cool coffee cups, get you some of these Liberty Bowl shirts. It's a link that goes to my eBay account. Yeah, I think that's about it, man. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, fuck off.
Smell you later.